You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI AM 640, it's Conway Show. Mark Thompson is here. Woohoo! Before we get to our guests, let's tell you that the Burbank Airport is open. And air traffic controllers are back on the job.
Little hiccup yesterday. Little hiccup.
At Burbank Airport. And so it was unmanned, but and there are some unmanned airports. But I think we have Burbank situated, and now it might be spreading to some other airports. Let me play this, then we'll get to our awesome guest here in a second.
Far from Washington, the government shutdown is now rippling into air traffic control towers in Newark, in Denver, and in Phoenix. Long delays due to staffing yesterday, according to the FAA. In Burbank, the air traffic control tower left completely unmanned overnight for roughly 6 hours.
Wow.
We're beginning closing down the tower.
Mm.
Is it because of the shutdown that you guys are going? It's for staffing. Burbank Tower is closed.
Controllers in San Diego took over for Burbank, but the delays remained. California Governor Gavin Newsom blaming the president online, while in Washington, partisan fighting continues, with Republicans blaming Democrats for the shutdown.
The Democrats are the ones that started this.
As workers across the federal government, including air traffic controllers, go without pay. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says there's been a slight uptick of sick calls, resulting in flight delays.
If we have additional sick calls, we will reduce the flow consistent with a rate that's safe for the American people.
Duffy says he's heard from workers about their concerns.
They have bills they have to pay. So now they're thinking about that at the same time that they're controlling the airspace.
The National Air Traffic Controllers Union calls the ongoing crisis the latest example of how fragile the system is in the midst of a national controller shortage.
We do not have time to waste on the unnecessary distractions created by this shutdown. So our message is clear. End the shutdown.
Let's go. End the shutdown.
The union
Great
says
idea.
it's working with the FAA to mitigate disruptions, but the concern this morning, this could get worse, with the busy holiday travel season now just over a month away.
If this all sounds eerily familiar, back in 2019, during the last government shutdown, you may recall after controllers missed one paycheck, then two paychecks, many started calling out sick because of the stress. That put pressure on the system. And that is ultimately what many believe led to President Trump calling off the government shutdown. That was back in 2019. We'll see whether missed paychecks will play a role also in this shutdown.
All right, we'll see. We will see. All right, we have a brand new restaurant called Little Bear, and a Chef Sevan Abdessian. Is that right?
Close enough.
Oh, how do you pronounce it?
Abdessian.
Abdessian is with us. How are you, man? Nice to see you.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Now, anytime somebody opens a restaurant, we always like to give them a little bit of a plug and a little bit of push here. It's called Little Bear. It's in Glendale. It's more towards the Burbank border, between Burbank and Glendale. Is that right?
It's in Glendale, but closer to Burbank.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's on what street?
On San Fernando Road.
Oh, San Fernando. Okay.
6800 San Fernando Road.
Okay, that's easy to remember. 6800 San Fernando.
Yeah.
And it's called Little Bear. It's Italian food.
It is.
And you have a background in Italian cooking. You were a chef for quite some time?
Yeah, it's kind of all I know how to do.
Well, that's a lot. I mean, that's great.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
We were the owners of Recess in Glendale for almost a decade. We had a restaurant in Glendale and Highland Park. We sold our company in 2017 because my wife was diagnosed with breast cancer, but we made it through.
Oh, good. All right. That's excellent. Good for you.
Kind of like the itch, it's like an Armenian with, can't go without the Mercedes. This Armenian can't go without owning restaurants. So a friend of mine approached me last year and said, listen, I've got this donut shop in a center that's kind of run down, and I want you to see if you have the vision to help me make it kind of like, sort of modernize it and clean it up and paint it. And so one of the tenants retired after 35 years of being a donut shop. And so we took over the donut shop and turned it into like a little Italian sort of
That's great,
place.
Man.
We make fresh pasta every day. So
and tomorrow is your opening day?
Tomorrow's our opening day.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, we had a soft opening about a month and a half ago. We're just kind of, getting into a 1951 building that was redone and
And where did you learn to cook? Where did you learn to become a chef? Did you go to school?
Actually, yes, I did go to school, but my parents were in the industry. They had lunch trucks and catering company when they were young. So I've been going to catering since I was like 10 years old, doing roll-ups and then started working in cafes in high school. And then I met Joachim Splichal, which I worked for the Patina Group.
Right.
And kind of that gave me a lot of passion.
That's a high-end group.
Yeah.
So,
And I went and got my culinary degree in San Francisco. And
wow, so you were a highly trained guy. That's terrific.
Yeah. There's only a few of us left. I think most of us kind of after COVID, from what I hear, are gone.
Right.
It was tough.
Now, I understand the name Little Bear is what you used to call your daughters, or still call your daughters?
I still call my daughters that.
And how old are they?
They're now 14 and 17.
Wow.
That's terrific.
But my whole life growing up, them growing up, I was like, hi, Little Bear. Yes, Little Bear.
Aww.
And so when I saw the restaurant and the size of it and how it's small, I was like, it's perfect. It's going to be called Little Bear.
Little Bear's a great name.
Thank you.
And God bless you. And, I know raising two kids, girls, is really tough. And to have your wife go through that had to be the most stressful thing that you have both done together in your entire life.
Yeah. In hindsight, things happen for a reason. We sold the company prior to COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a lot, we were self-funded. We didn't have any outside investment. So it was kind of all or nothing. And in a sense, obviously not because of the cancer or anything like that, but the timing worked out for us in the sense that we, if we didn't sell it at that point, we probably would have not made it through COVID.
Sure.
Because we didn't have any outside funding for someone just to write us a check, randomly when you're doing well or not doing well.
I'm sure you know a lot of people who did lose their business to COVID.
Oh, yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, the restaurant business was decimated by COVID. I mean, decimated.
Well, the restaurant business is, it's like drinking poison.
Yeah.
The margins are so small.
So they've gotten smaller.
KFI AM 640, it's Conway Show. Mark Thompson is here.
Yes, sir.
That food is spectacular.
It is good. We were chomping a little bit here during the break. He used to be the personal chef to Adam Sandler.
Right.
And traveled the whole world with him.
And I didn't know that until he's leaving.
Yeah. I thought that's a pre-interview thing maybe that we should have
I got to pre-interview these guys a little more. I thought that was fascinating. He worked on 3 different movies as Adam Sandler's personal chef.
Yeah, so he
lived with him.
Yeah, they lived together. I mean, that's the way it is. It's all, you're on the rhythm of whoever you're cooking for.
Right. So this food that I'm eating right now, this pasta with the ham and the peas and the arugula, this is what Adam Sandler ate.
Yeah, well, I'm sure Adam Sandler ate whatever they had options, but it was
right. I'm saying this is one of the dishes he probably ate
from the hands of because that's so delicious. You're right.
Oh my God.
Right,
Bellio, you got to try that.
I wanna.
Yeah,
really
we got to get you a clean fork. Oh, here, there's a clean fork. Let me have you try that on the air because you're Italian, right? You're Italian.
Yes, sir.
As my grandmother used to say. She'd say,
she said Italian.
Yeah, she said, down the street there's an Italian family that moved in. I'm like, well, how did you know they're Italian? Did they say they're from Italy? That's good, huh?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty rich.
So fresh.
My God.
Oh, that is good.
That's his big thing.
Doesn't that remind you of like really good, like when you're growing up in Denver, when one of your uncles or aunts could really cook an
homemade
Italian,
pasta.
Yeah, an
absolutely.
Italian meal. That's spectacular.
No, honestly,
so
that is delicious.
That restaurant is Little Bear.
Sorry.
Little Bear in
loud.
Glendale. It's going to open tomorrow.
That guy's great. Yeah. Sevan is his name. And go to that opening tomorrow. And he's not an advertiser. We're just helping a guy out.
We'd like to support.
It's a new small business. We want to support him.
And he's gone through hell. I mean, his wife was seriously down with, sick with breast cancer. And if his girls are 17 and 14, they must have been, 8 and 11 when that hit.
Yeah.
And going to school every day, knowing your mom is awfully sick, is almost impossible to concentrate at school. I
mean, he got, as he says, he got lucky because they sold the business, his old restaurant, just before COVID hit.
Yeah.
And so that was able to at least prop them up while they fought that fight that you're describing. And now they've come out of that, and he's begun this.
And I said, what was it like working for Adam Sandler? And he said he's the nicest guy in the world. He's never met a nicer man in his life. Never heard him yell at anybody. Raises beautiful kids. He loves his wife, and just the most generous guy in the world.
Yeah,
and this guy, didn't have to BS us. He could have just said, "Ah, that guy's a schmuck,"
Yeah, no, he loves Sandler, and they travel. I guess they've known each other since back in New York. He's just a guy from New York,
So this guy needs us to come out and really give. I want to tell you something. Who's the talk show host? Michael Savage. You know who that is?
Yeah, I know who he is.
Savage.
I don't listen to it, but I know who he is.
Okay, all right. Well, we don't need political commentary.
No, it's not political.
Christ Almighty! I'm just telling you.
Sorry, is he on this station?
I don't know.
I haven't heard him.
Stop. Play nice.
All right, let's give out some money.
There you go.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Dollar. That's dollar, DOLLAR. Enter it now at KFIAM640.com/cash. Powered by Sweet James Accident Attorneys. If you're hurt in an accident, winning is everything. Call the winning attorneys at Sweet James. 1-800-9-MILLION. That's 1-800-9-MILLION or sweetjames.com.
Oh, you're reaching for the... I thought you came over to hug me. He's reaching for the tiramisu.
Yeah, I don't know.
God almighty. Yeah. All right, so let me tell you a Michael Savage story. Yeah. Okay, so Michael Savage said back in New York, where he's from, when a family member, an uncle or an aunt, grandmother, grandfather, cousin, nephew, whoever, was opening up a little general store, something to, start a store in the neighborhood to hire the family, raise enough money to feed the kids, put them through school, pay the mortgage, and somebody would open a little general store. The word got out that O'Malley's or, Breast the Hands or Dalton's or whoever, the Italians or whatever, we're starting a little store. Please come help them establish themselves. And hundreds of people would show up. Coworkers, family members, friends, neighbors, people from church, people from school, ancestors. They would all show up at the general store, and they all did one thing. They bought things even though they didn't need them, and they paid everything that they bought, they paid for in cash. So that guy could get a foothold. That guy could start his business, and he had a great successful first month or first 6 weeks because everyone came in, all friends and family paid with cash. He goes, nowadays, you open up a store on Ventura Boulevard, all your friends, all your family, they all come, they all pay with credit cards, and then they go home and they deny the charges.
That's not true. But
That's a great story.
I get it.
Okay, I know it's not true, but in certain instances, it probably is.
Well, he's trying to make a point. I mean, I take his basic point that times are different. But
that's right.
I think people can still show up.
Times are different.
Yeah, I get it. Times are different. But people can still show up here, show a lot of love. And the real thing is that you're not just there for the first day, but that you go to this place, Little Bear.
That's right.
And that you go to that restaurant, not necessarily just on the first day when they're cutting the ribbon, but when it's now a part of the community. And you continue. And this guy seems like an incredibly sincere guy. As you say, Tim, he's been through a lot. But this isn't a charity thing. He's a really great chef. He's put together an incredible restaurant with a really buff menu.
You know what's funny is I always ask my Armenian friends if they know whenever I meet somebody Armenian, and he's like, of the community, and he's got standing, and he's had, some success. I always ask them if they know my Armenian friends, David Mosikian and Misak Tukmanian. And I never feel like that's like racist or, I'm stereotype or whatever. And they almost always know one or two of the guys.
Almost always do.
Right.
I'm here for this conversation over and over.
Right.
And you're right. They almost always do.
But I don't do that with any other race or any other religion or any other creed. I don't do that. If I see if we have a Japanese guy come in, I don't ask him about other Japanese guys.
Sure.
If we have like a Hispanic guy, I don't say, hey, do you know my Hispanic friends? But with these Armenians, they all end up knowing guys that I know.
It's a tight community, and there's certain higher profile people in that community that you know, too.
Right. Yeah. And for the most part, and I will say that I with almost 100% certain. This Armenian community are very conservative people, and they raise kids properly. They are almost all, at least that I know, are lean conservative, and I like that, Mark. Despite your craziness, I like that. But anyway, go to this Little Bear. I don't know what his politics are, and I'm sure that he'll tell everybody straight down the middle like they all do. So go to Little Bear in Glendale. It opens tomorrow. You brought up politics.
Who's bringing up politics?
Please don't, Mark. It just separates us. Please,
how do we get back
Mark,
to politics all the time?
Stop with the shutdown and the MAGAs and all that stuff. Get out of here. All right, Little Bear in Glendale. Crozier, did you try any of this food?
No.
All right, you got to try something here.
Huh?
What's left? Oh, well, that sandwich. You like sandwiches?
It's my jam, man.
Oh, really?
Best food in the world.
Oh, then
This is a spectacular sandwich.
Well, you know what? But Crozier, last time I gave you food, you just threw it out, or you threw it back at me.
What was that?
That Mojo potato I gave you.
What was that? Sorry, I missed that.
Mojo potatoes are great, but it was cold.
I threw a Mojo at him.
Yeah.
And he took one bite and he threw it away, but I guess it was too cold. But I love those Mojo potatoes. Yes. They were from, where are they from? Straw Hat or Shakey's? Oh,
Shakey's.
Shakey's the best.
Yeah, man.
All right, go to Little Bear in Glendale. I love that guy. He's got a great story. He traveled with Adam Sandler. That's a cool guy. I love Adam Sandler.
Handmade pasta, man. That's all you need to say.
And that restaurant's going to be successful. And I know it because I'm going to talk about it every day until I get fired. How about that? We're live on KFI. It's Conway and Thompson.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI AM 640. It is the Conway Show. Mark Thompson is sitting here and eating everything.
Pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
That Little Bear restaurant dropped a bunch of stuff, and
You've consumed everything.
I'm road testing a few things.
I meant to give Crozier the sandwich. I put it in the fridge.
Oh, it's there then. Crozier, it's in the fridge. You should have it.
I'm on my way.
It's fresh.
It's in the fridge closest to you. There's 2 fridges out there. And it's been in the fridge since Sevan got here, so it's fresh. But I'd like you to test it and see if you like it.
It looked really good.
Yeah.
Very fresh.
I'm going to go to that restaurant a lot. I'm going to try to get free food out of them, the whole day.
Yeah, well, you got to, leverage your place in the community.
That's right.
You don't pay for anything. You're like a cop.
That's right.
Man, the cops, if they're on duty, they go into a restaurant. They usually don't have to pay. Isn't that right?
Turn on your headlights, you bitch.
Is there a generation that's growing up not going to recognize that impression?
Oh, yeah. Well, let's see if Sam does it. Sam, do you know who that impression is of?
Give it to me again.
I won't say his name, but I'll say, call us, and I will tell you how to successfully date women. Who is it?
I have no idea.
I'll give you some more.
Yeah, go do the headlight thing.
It's Friday. You've got to turn those headlights on, and women, you know what to do. You take those tops off.
That means nothing to you, Sam?
No.
It's Flash Fridays. Sammy, you're a wuss. If you don't know who this is.
That's what I mean. There's a whole generation coming up that doesn't know that.
How old are you, Sam?
I'm 46.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's just because he probably just wasn't in the talk radio world.
Thank you for tuning into the Tom Leykis show.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Where you come to get the real story, what people really care about.
It's not some kind of right-wing wacko or convicted felon. No. It's the Leykis show.
Where they really talk about the things they really want to hear.
Yeah, the issues you really care about. I love that, man. I will always say that I was out here for Thanksgiving. My whole family was out of state, and I was sitting home alone on Thanksgiving morning watching football, and I got a call at 8:30 in the morning. And I pick up the phone. It says a block number, and I don't know who. I thought it was my mom calling. And I pick it up, and he goes, hello. I said, who's this? He goes, this is your friend Tom Leykis. I said, hey, Tommy, how you doing? Doing good. Yeah, doing great. We got Dino over here and the boys. And I said, what's going on? He goes, well, I heard you on the radio.
and you said you weren't going to be around, or your family wasn't going to be around for Thanksgiving.
I said, yeah, that's true.
He said, why don't you come by my place? I'm in Hollywood. You don't bring anything, and we are going to have a blast.
And I said, great. And I drove over to his house for Thanksgiving, spent the Thanksgiving with Tom Leykis.
Wow, that sounds great.
I'll always remember that. It was me and about 40 guys. And I said to him,
he didn't have his kind of wild, bacchanal sort of craziness going?
I got there before the women or after the women.
I see, okay.
It was me and 40 guys. And I didn't mind. We were all watching football. It's, it's not one of those things where you're going to hook up. And I had the greatest Thanksgiving meal. And I turned a really crappy Thanksgiving into one of my favorites.
Oh, that's
thanks to Tom Leykis.
Isn't that great?
Thank you.
Well, he was a force in talk radio. Very talented guy.
That's right.
Who turned it loose.
Yes, that's right. Yes, made a ton of money.
He did make he made a fortune. He might have been, one of those.
I've got a mansion in Santa Barbara. It's beautiful. What do you got? What do you got? An infinity? Oh, you got an infinity pool. I've got 2 of those. Turn those headlights on. You bitches.
Oh, my God. That's great.
It was a good time. That was a good time. All right, parking is going.
Tell me about your show. Well, come on. And I just laugh hysterically for 10 minutes, then we go to break.
All right, we'll come back and talk about some news. People like news. It's Conway and Thompson. KFI AM 640. It is the Conway Show. The Dodgers won last night. Maybe you saw that. Maybe you're thrilled or not. Was it last night? It was last night. Yeah, last night. And they had their practice today at Dodger Stadium. And if they win tomorrow night at Dodger Stadium, I hope you got tickets. If you have tickets, you should probably leave and plan on getting down there around 4. Let me see what time that game starts. I think it's a 6 o'clock game. Let's see here. Dodger start time tomorrow. I think it's 6 o'clock. Let's see here. Yeah, 6:08. Okay, so it's a 6 o'clock start tomorrow at Dodger Stadium. You want to try to get down to Dodger Stadium by 4, maybe 4:30. Because when you get down there early, and Mark, you're probably this way. When you get down there early, your stomach is better, your vibe is better.
Yeah.
You really, you soak in the whole night. But when you get down there and you're scrambling to find a spot to run into the stadium, and you already missed a home run, you feel like you don't get the whole experience.
Particularly for a playoff game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like you can go, well, it's a regular season game. I'll catch one next week.
Right.
I mean, this is really historic.
And plus, when that stadium is full, when the Dodgers start at 6:08, it helps the Dodgers.
Sure.
And
you won't find that during the regular season.
No, you won't.
But during the playoffs, the place is full right at the beginning.
You hope it is.
Yeah.
You hope people get down there. Also tonight, the Los Angeles Kings start their season.
How do you feel about the Kings season? You're a longtime Kings fan.
I'm staying on high alert. I don't like the new GM has us on a 50-year rebuild. I'm not into that. No, that's not true. Look, the Kings have lost the last 4 seasons in a row. They've lost in the first round of the playoffs to the Edmonton Oilers. They've not found a way to get past the Edmonton Oilers in the first round.
What do you see as the issues that they have?
The hiccup there is it's a combination of it was bad coaching and bad playing in the last 4 games of their season last year.
Okay.
They were up 2-0. They crushed Edmonton the first 2 games in the playoffs, and then they lost 4 straight to them.
Did Edmonton adjust, or did the Kings kind of falter?
I think the Kings sort of gave it away.
Oh.
And I look, I'm a lifelong Kings fan, but I don't know how many more years I can continue, sitting in seats where they lose the first round to the Oilers.
Wow.
I've done it 4 years in a row.
So you're having a crisis of confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then their new general manager, I don't know. I guess he's fine, but every story he has is about the 1997 Detroit Red Wings. Because he was the general manager when they won their Stanley Cup back in, the 1928 or whenever they won it. And I know it seems like be a young man's game, and I don't want to be ageist, but he's 75 or 76 years old, and every story begins with, Yzerman back in 1996. I'm like, oh, Christ, we're, 40 or 30 years away from that. And then I think Kopitar is one of the greatest players in the history of the game. And this is not a dump on Kopitar. But I remember in sports, when a guy would retire, he would give his retirement speech on the same day, and then you'd never see him again, ever. He was just gone. He retired, and he left the game. Now, and the NHL wants to make a big deal out of this, so he told everybody he's going to retire before the season, and this is going to be his last season. So now every stadium that he goes into, they're going to have a moment where like, this is Anze Kopitar's last time with this at the stadium, and let's give him a towel or a shirt or a hat or a car door or whatever they give him in that city. And I think it makes this last season about the Stanley Cup and Anze Kopitar retiring, when it should just be about the Cup.
I see.
And I don't like the year-long retirements. Remember when it was Oprah Winfrey? Or was it Oprah? Who?
There's so many examples.
There's a lot of them. Cher is another one.
Yeah, Barbara Streisand, Cher.
Cher went on a tour called her last tour.
Yeah.
Right? A whole tour. Cher's retiring. She's going on a last tour. She's never going to see her again. She's gone. And then she does their final night on her final tour, and she's done. And then a year later, she's doing another final tour.
That's true.
I couldn't believe it.
Well, the same is true of the Stones, Elton John. I mean, that's why, you just never know. I mean, it could indeed be the final tour.
Right, but it should be the final tour if you call it the final tour.
Right, there should be, some kind of. But in any case, this is the final for Kopitar?
Kopitar, this is final season. You hope. I mean, he said it was. But
you hope.
Look, he's been with the team for, I think, 18 years. Yes. And that's a long time in hockey. Yeah. I think he's 37 or 38 years old. And that's not a 38-year-old game. It's just not. It's 19 to 24-year-old guys out there, maybe 27, 28. But 38, there's a lot of knee pain, back pain, shoulder, neck.
That's a rough sport, man.
It's an extremely rough sport. You're playing on wafer-thin razors, with guys that are weighing 200 pounds flying at you at 35 miles an hour.
How did Gordie Howe make it so long?
Well, I think it was a different game back then. That bridge, the new bridge, Windsor to Detroit, is called the Gordie Bridge.
And, I had no idea. Yeah. I've actually been across that bridge.
The new one?
Not the new one. The old one.
Ambassador Bridge. Yeah. I'd be very careful on that bridge.
Well, it's either that or go underground in the tunnel.
Yeah, the tunnel sucks. The tunnel's leaking, too.
Tunnel that's why I took the above ground.
And the bridge is falling apart. So they're putting a brand new bridge there called the Gordie Bridge. And people think it's because of the record producer. What's his name?
Barry Gordy.
Barry Gordy.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's Gordie Howe. Because Gordie Howe was born in Canada. He played hockey for America, and they all come together with this bridge that they're building. The bridge is spectacular. The new, it's south of the Ambassador Bridge. Because my mom's from that area, and it's spectacular, that new bridge. It's going to have, it's built for commerce. It's built for bicycles, for walking across. It's all lit up beautifully. It's spectacular. And I think it's supposed to open next year. So that'd be cool. All right, we're live. Is that the, there's 2 hours already we did? That was one.
Insane.
Wow, it flies by, doesn't it, Mark?
Yeah, it really
I tell you. All right, we're live on KFI AM 640. Conway Show on demand on the iHeartRadio app. Now, you can always hear us live on KFI AM 640, 4 to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and anytime on demand on the iHeartRadio app.